Round 3 of the Ninja A-League, and two teams that will be hoping it's third time lucky in the search for a first win of the campaign. Adelaide United hosting Canberra United on your Friday night as the fans flow into Service FM Stadium at the State Football Centre in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. There are the two teams in the tunnel. They've had similar trajectories so far this season. Defeated in round 1 and a draw in round 2. This weekend, the Ninja A-League is in focus because of the men's international break. Let's take a look at what's coming up tomorrow afternoon. 2 games, Sydney FC hosting Perth Glory at Leichhardt Oval, and then the grand final rematch, Melbourne Victory against the Central Coast Mariners. Wellington Phoenix go to Porirua Park for the first time on Sunday, and Brisbane Roar are back at Spencer Park when top plays bottom in the Sunday late game. All-time top scorer Michelle Heyman there from Canberra having a quick chat to the referees, both for her club and the league, and she loves playing against Adelaide United. 23 goals in 25 games over the course of her illustrious career. So when the opponent wears red, Michelle Heyman tends to find the back of the nets. Here come the two teams out onto the pitch. Adelaide at home for the second game in a row, and they make no changes coming off a 0-0 draw against Sydney FC last weekend. It means young striker Karina Rossi does earn a second start in a row as the team tries to find its first goal of the season. All-time top scorer Chelsea Dorber and Julie Dolan medalist Fiona Wirtz are among the subs. Holly Murray will be playing her 50th game in the Ninja A-League today. You can see she's very friendly with a number of her former Canberra United teammates. It's just her third game for Adelaide. The previous 47 were all with Canberra. And speaking of Canberra, they're coming back from New Zealand last week where they earned a 1-1 draw, and they make 2 changes to the starting 11 tonight. Bethany Gordon is out with illness, and also Alex McKenzie moved to the substitutes bench, with Tegan Bertolicio elevated to the defence and Mary Stanish-Floody elevated to the midfield. Also a potential debutant amongst the subs in Sienna Dale. Nanako Sasaki, the Japanese national who lived in Adelaide for 5 years, initially playing in the NPL with the Adelaide Comets and then earning a shot at Adelaide United, where she gave them 4 seasons of service before leaving on a free transfer to join Canberra United. This is the first time that she'll be facing her former team. Theo Siunis, the Adelaide coach, his first season in charge, and he'll be desperately hoping for the sweet relief of hitting the back of the net for the first time this season. Deep in conversation with his assistant coach, Marushka Waldus there. Tonight's referees, led by Beck Mackey, who will have the whistle. Assistant referees, Amber Morris on the left and Paola Orlandi there on the right. And the fourth official is Izzy Cooper. And on the Canberra bench, Anthony Jagranek looking to lead Canberra back to the finals. They were able to make the elimination final and even lead in that final last season. Can they go one better and win a finals game this campaign? They will have to qualify for the top 6 to do that. Two-time A-League Women's Champion Grace Gill joins me for this one. Grace, Canberra there in the huddle. Adelaide yet to score a goal. Both teams yet to win a game. It's desperation stakes almost at this early point of the season.
Yeah, thanks, Tay. It certainly is. It's a battle of the Uniteds. Both teams in search of their first win of the season. Adelaide in search of their first goal of the season. It's a really important fixture in the Ninja A-League tonight. Really important for both teams to get a full 3 points on the board.
Izzy Hodgson there, the captain, leading the team talk, laying down the law to her teammates there. How motivated will Adelaide be tonight? They were fast out of the blocks against Sydney FC last week and good in the first half, but it actually felt like they got further away from scoring as the game went on. So perhaps we can expect them to start fast again tonight. Service FM Stadium, the home ground of Adelaide United this season. They mixed it up a bit last campaign with Martin Stadium and also Cooper's Stadium, but this is their home. Erin Healy, one of the standouts, 8 goals last campaign. Will she be the player that can break through and score Adelaide's first of the season tonight? It's going to be the team in red taking kickoff, attacking the right of your screens in this first half. Head-to-head, Adelaide 7 wins, Canberra 16 all-time and 6 draws. So certainly the historical record skews Canberra's way, but maybe it's the Reds' night tonight as they get round 3 of the Ninja A-League started. Emily Condon takes kickoff and we're underway. Adelaide United against Canberra United, 2 teams with 1 competition point to their name and a few points to prove about the direction their seasons are going to go. They both played finals last season after finishing in the top 6. And an early touch here for Mary Stanich-Floody means Michelle Heyman has a cause to go and chase in the early minutes of this game. And the chance to cut it back here to Chiara Di Demizio. An early shot! What a start for Canberra! 28 seconds on the clock, and Chiara Di Demizio with a bending shot from the edge of the area. Her first goal in Canberra colours, and an ideal start for the visiting team. And the Sydney sider, who called Western United home for the last 2 seasons, has her first Canberra goal.
It's a dream start for Canberra United, created from the hard work of none other than Michelle Heyman. Incredible work chasing down that ball over the top. And Chiara Di Demizio thinks, I'll just take a chance here. I'll get my first shot away, and what a shot that is. A beautiful curling effort into the far corner. A little ding off the post, and what a way for the girls in green to open this one.
Well, Di Demizio didn't feature in round 1, got 66 minutes as a starter against Wellington last week in round 2. And she has come up in the very first minute, the first 30 seconds, in fact. And now is giving away a free kick here. No free kick, just a throw in. Can't take the smile off her face. She's always delighted to score a goal, and it's her 4th in the Ninja A-League in 25 games. So when you consider that, for the most part, she's been deployed as a super sub, the strike rate holds up pretty well. And now a bit of nervousness for Sally James and the Canberra defence. Hayley Taylor-Young, bit of a makeshift centre-back in these early rounds of the season with a header away. Heyman can't take possession. Through comes Mel Taranto for Adelaide. No time to breathe in the first couple of minutes of this one, as there's another aerial duel here. And Adelaide are going to just calm things down, but they need to get their heads out of the dressing room and get in the game. Little sidestep here from Emily Condon. Just showed a little bit too much of the ball to Emma Robers, another of the Canberra centre-backs as they line up in this game, and the ball is out for a throw-in. Off-season signing Jasmine Wardlow, the American, has not featured last week or this week. It seems as though Anthony Jagranek is trusting what would have to be described as historically a makeshift defence, but Emma Robers is starting to become a bit of a mainstay with centre-back as her main position now. Pass given away here by Tegan Bertolicio, and Canberra are going to have to hustle back in there as the aforementioned Emma Robers coming through to take possession. Trying to find Sasha Grove with the pass. Adriana Taranto intercepts. There is a strong ex-Western United theme in tonight's game. Tangle here, flag is up and foul given, and a chance to look at the goal one more time.
Well, a flurry of a start, and really just a break in play that Adelaide United are going to need a moment to take stock. It was a lovely finish from Di Demizio. Nothing Claudia Jenkins could have done about that one. But inside the first minute, really not how you want to get things underway. We're just speaking about Adelaide needing to find not 3 points, but a single goal for their campaign. Haven't done so yet.
Mel Taranto making headway here into the box, though, and couldn't quite tee up Rossi in the middle. Here is the goal scorer, Di Demizio, trying to turn around the corner. Ball is trapped and retained by Izzy Hodgson. Good defending from the front by the skipper, Erin Healy. Adriana Taranto trying to shrug the attention of Darcy Malone. And Erin Healy's turn now on the ball. Can she find the right pass from the wing? Just biding her time. Head was down, not looking at the options, but the Taranto twins link up, and it's behind for a corner kick. And Emma Robers perhaps imploring the referee about something earlier in that phase of play, but Nano Sasaki puts it behind for a corner.
Well, seeing Sasaki in any colours other than Adelaide colours is a bit of an adjustment for the league, such a mainstay in Adelaide's midfield for years, and now lining up with Canberra tonight. A big job in midfield up against the Tarantos, against Dylan Holmes. Some super experience in this Adelaide midfield.
Condon taking the corner. Players squinting into the sun as it falls in the 6-yard box. A sea of legs. Healy with a chance. It's wide. The crowd were deceived. And the cheers dissipate as they realise that Adelaide have not hit the back of the net for the first time this season. If you saw the net ripple, it's because it hit the fence behind the goal and then caught the wrong side of the net.
Well, it was a congested area. Sally James just not quite commanding the space, and Healy, well, she has to hit the target there from that kind of range. Anywhere will do, really. That's a tough one for a goalkeeper to stop, and a disappointing result for Adelaide.
Bit of chaos in the defensive penalty area for Canberra already. Matilda McNamara. Back to Holly Murray. McNamara with the ball through the right channel for Karina Rossi to pursue, but Tegan Bertolicio defends it well.
Good strength there by Bertolicio, and coming back into the side. Spoke about a somewhat makeshift defence, but Bertolicio, that pass won't quite help.
Adelaide already in front on the shot count. Not even 6 minutes in. Is the next one going to be a goal-scoring one? It may well be. Falling at the far post. Healy again, saved by Sally James. Really important. Canberra won't be happy they gave up the chance to begin with, and James has bailed them out there.
And a couple of really good chances from the Reds in as many minutes. After going behind really early, they've built back into this final third. Crosses coming in from the right-hand side in particular, and again it's Healy on the spot.
Stanage Floody, Canberra, they almost need to spend some time on the ball here. They're the team in front, but they keep giving possession away and inviting Adelaide on, and now a free kick opportunity, maybe beyond the range of a direct shot on goal. It's worth mentioning that this is the first time that Adelaide haven't scored in the opening 2 rounds for more than a decade. The 2014-15 season, the last time they failed to score in the first 2 games of the campaign. And they have no shortage of talent to try and find the back of the net. And Canberra right now, they might have the lead, but they're the ones weathering the storm. Sally James asks for 2 players in the defensive wall. Sasha Grove and Darcy Malone have drawn the short straw, and there's the goalkeeper giving instructions in the background. Mel Taranto just not happy with how the free kick is sitting here, building the anticipation. And it's a short free kick to restart play. Adriana Taranto with the cross in, and an easy catch for Sally James.
Well, a little skinny in the end, the cross that came through. Idea was right, and they've had a bit of joy on that right-hand side to begin. Can understand the idea.
Didamizio with a long clearance just to flip the field and allow the Canberra defence to push up. Almost perfect. It's going to allow them to actually jog up and try to press Adelaide in their own defensive half. Stands filling up. Hoping to see an Adelaide comeback now. Plenty of time to work with. McNamara and Hodgson. Well, the line just snuck up on Hodgson there, and so the benefits of Canberra advancing all those players pay off. They now have an attacking half throw in to be taken by Grove. Michelle Heyman with a flick. Didamizio lurking in similar territory to where she scored the opening goal from, but the ball won't arrive. Karina Rossi working hard, and Grove equally so, knocking the ball out. McNamara, Malone and Didamizio combining. And before the game, oh, it's a throw in Canberra's way. Didamizio's appeal to the assistant referee answered. And now a chance for Josie Olasino to go to work. The goal scorer over in Wellington last weekend. Eventually dispossessed, and Matilda McNamara has no choice but to kick for touch.
It's the first bit of time that Canberra have spent back in their attacking half since the goal.
Malone's pass intercepted by Murray. Olasino defending from the front. As is Didamizio here. You can hear the shouts coming from the Canberra sideline. Wanting energy in the press. And the ball is hooked away. We were speaking pre-game and we saw Bethany Gordon was out. Her and Darcy Malone are normally such a great combination. Not just playing the ball forward and to each other, but winning the ball back. And you flagged earlier that Sasaki's going to have a lot more responsibility winning possession back for Canberra tonight.
Yeah, it's a big out. Bethany Gordon in the middle of the park for Canberra. She's a really combative player, gets stuck into a lot of duels, wins a lot of possession for her side.
Here's D'Amezio winning the ball from the wing. Holmes. Bit of a last-ditch slide challenge, but it worked. Won the ball away. However, that pass is misdirected. Sasaki on the scene to initially win the ball back, but then gifted it straight to Ella Tonkin of Adelaide. And now Emily Condon. Such a creative force. Doesn't like any of the passes ahead of play, though, and has to go back to Tonkin. And now Olasino has caught Murray in possession, and Murray makes amends initially. Canberra still half a chance here, but Dylan Holmes is going to sweep through. Trying to cool things down. Of course, the rub there is that Olasino and Holly Murray were teammates at Box Hill United over winter. So Olasino might know all the secrets of Holly Murray when she goes nose to nose against her. Bertolicio with real energy, winning the ball, and then the slide challenge as well, straight through Mel Taranto. And the ball is spilled, it's there to be won. Going back and forth, Malone competing against McNamara, who's going to keep a cool head. Holmes is the one. And she lays the ball out to Holly Murray here, who can press forward. Murray allowed to drift. Now Condon on the left wing. The 1-2 comes unstuck. Holmes is there to help out for Adelaide, keeping them in possession. A good 1-2 with Condon, and that draws in Robers to clear the ball away.
There's some better passages there for Adelaide. This is that strong challenge coming through from Bertolicio. But what has been a fairly scrappy start, both sides handing over possession a little too loosely. Nice conditions for football, 17, 18 degrees, not too much wind, so nothing put upon that.
There were some looming clouds pre-game, but thankfully they have cleared. It was actually bright late afternoon sunshine prior to kickoff as Healy swings across in. Taranto just skimming off the head, foot race, which D'Amezio leads Hodgson to the ball, and Hodgson really cleverly winning possession back, keeps the attack going. Rossi first touch promising, and cleared behind. Another corner kick coming up, and the hustle of the young centre forward there was key.
And again, the right-hand side for Adelaide, really fruitful. It's good pressure coming through from Izzy Hodgson. Didn't give up on the chase and ultimately has led to this chance. And a couple of nervy moments at the back between Sally James and Emma Robers, just needing some really clear communication.
The sun not quite as much of an issue here as the players look west, where Emily Condon is taking this corner. It is another in-swinger, and one hand from Sally James able to clear it through the penalty area. Healy turns and takes on Taylor Young. Great close control, and in at the near post, cleared by Bertolicio. Can Canberra counter-attack here? Olasino, Heyman and Stanich Floody all combining together, and Heyman breaking out into space on the wing. And now runners are on in the middle. Look at the speed of Olasino. Heyman has a quick head check and decides, yes, the American is my target, but it clears everyone. D'Amezio here is going up against McNamara, and McNamara just able to take the sting out of it. But how about the speed through the middle of Josie Olasino moving there?
Really great determination rather, and Olasino, the only option for Michelle Heyman, who had a look, thought about the cross. Was about 4 red shirts up against the one in Olasino.
So again, a throw in from right back for Adelaide. Canberra trying to set the trap. Darcy Malone wins the header. Stanich Floody with a flick. Heyman just a little underhit on the return ball, but Stanich Floody will still take possession here. And now bursting forward, Hayley Taylor-Young takes a strike, and it's held onto by the goalkeeper, Claudia Jenkins.
I like that from Taylor-Young, getting forward, advancing. Playing in somewhat more of a central role this evening, but a really energetic player is Hayley Taylor-Young.
Bouncing ball, Bertolicio just a little bit too physical in how she has dealt with Rossi there. Bertolicio, who did get called into a Matildas camp as an additional player when there were some injuries when they were last in Sydney. The young Matildas were in camp at the same time, and Bertolicio only 20 this year, will still be hoping to represent Australia at youth level. But to get that just little taste, a few days of Senior Matildas camp, which must have been a great thrill for a player on the rise. 15 minutes ticked by. A first-minute goal separates the sides as Ella Tonkin retreats here for Adelaide. Murray, Heyman in the vicinity, and Murray wins a throw-in. Speaking of Matildas, of course, Heyman will be hoping to maintain her goal-scoring form. Found the back of the net against Newcastle in round 1. We'll be hoping to feature in the upcoming series against New Zealand. Canberra happy to stand off for now, give Holly Murray a free pass, and well, she's set quite the task for Ella Tonkin here. Taylor Young presses up and makes it all the more difficult for Tonkin to escape the defence. Two Adelaide defenders put their heads together and they're still going to cough it up. Heyman with a shot on sight and maybe had a little bit more time than needing to strike it with the first touch.
Yeah, it's poor from Adelaide. Just sloppy at the back, a lousy giveaway, and it's led. It's gifted Canberra a chance. Good pressure again. Hayley Taylor-Young advancing forward, and Michelle Heyman would want that one over. Didn't get as many minutes in the most recent Matildas window, Michelle Heyman, but no doubt will be back in the mix for the upcoming games against New Zealand.
This is what Erin Healy excels at, running and building ahead of steam. Stanic Floody desperately getting goal side and is able to just hold Healy up, and that's crucial. Breaking into open spaces where Erin Healy is so dangerous.
Well, she was standout last year for the Reds. Really instrumental in the success they had.
Rossi, late contact, referee holds the whistle, no free kick, and well, is it coming here? Malone through the back of Healy, now a long shot, Mel Taranto, and that one will slide wide. Well, Adelaide maybe had a case for a couple of free kicks in the build-up there, but it ends with a shot off target.
Well, here's a look at the contact that came through, and it might have been just a little slip over the top of the ball that disguised itself as a foul, and Mel Taranto definitely has a strike from distance in her locker like that. Didn't quite get her head over the ball on that occasion, but you don't want to give her too many of those.
Game has settled down. There was just such a chaotic energy to the first 10 minutes, like any given pass might be swept upon it by the opposition and run down the other end for an attacking chance. Both teams have now finally got themselves a foothold in the game, but it's Canberra, thanks to the early goal, that are in the ascendancy. Adelaide controlling possession at the moment, and Condon venturing forward. Healy, nice 1-2 with Condon. Erin Healy from the right and scooped up. See there, Canberra going at 55% pass accuracy. So that chaotic feeling when barely half your passes find a teammate, it really does contribute to the feeling that the game is on a knife's edge and right on cue. Unfortunately, it's come unstuck for them here.
Well, case in point, just needing to stick those passes, simple things, finding your teammate to their feet. When possession is being handled a little loosely, they're the things where you need to go back to basics.
Edge of the box, Rossi. Quick head check for what was on. Didn't see anyone behind her, so uses Healy instead. Mel Taranto, one long shot already. Won't be tempted here. Adriana Taranto. Now back to Matilda McNamara. Hodgson, underlapping run was promising from Adriana Taranto, but that's really attentive defending from Sasha Grove to win the ball away. McNamara, Adelaide continue to have Canberra pinned at the top of the penalty area. Good work by Adriana Taranto, and then Hodgson's cross blocked out, and a good phase there for Sasha Grove. Able to block it behind for a corner and stop Adelaide creating a shot on goal.
Good defensive action from Sasha Grove, getting back into position. Important touches for a player that gets forward and provides a lot in the attacking half. Definitely has the engine to be able to get back into these defensive spaces as well.
You can only give Emily Condon so many corners before she goes direct on the target. Hit the crossbar last week straight from a corner. And this one is once again honing right in. Sliding past Healy. Canberra with numbers. A couple of players go to ground. Condon another chance. And between the eyes, it is held onto by Sally James. And now the whistle goes because there is still a felled player in the penalty area. And referee Beck Mackey says, let's bring out Izzy Hodgson. A bit of support potentially. Grace, unfold this all for us.
Well, really good delivery, first of all, from Condon, as it often is. And this is the shout. Bertolicio, heavy contact through the back. The question, a few shouts from Adelaide United. Not enough in it for me. But nonetheless, I saw one for Izzy Hodgson. Good to see back to her feet. But the chance is building for Adelaide, and particularly from this right-hand side, whether it be crosses or corners off the left boot of Emily Condon. Some serious quality on those.
Grove knocks it long. Well, Condon really enjoys playing against Canberra United as well. 4 career goals. Head-to-head is her best opponent in terms of goal scoring in the Ninja A-League. Grove with energy, sending the ball back to Robers. Sally James calls for one more back pass. Healy in hot pursuit here, so James had to free the feet, get the ball away. Knotted on by Malone. Olasino trying to worry Tonkin, but calmly enough, back to Jenkins. And then Jenkins misses the mark, and Canberra will have an attacking throw-in.
And again, that's good pressure from Canberra, just chasing everything that's gone over the top. Olasino looking energetic.
Taylor Young's throw-in. Heyman the target, and the result is a goal kick. No touch from the Adelaide defenders. Jenkins goes long from the goal kick. Over the halfway line, header on by Rossi. Bertolicio with a volley to Malone. Olasino, first time pass, Heyman slips. McNamara would have intercepted regardless. McNamara surveying the options. Hodgson, through comes Malone, wins the ball away. Heyman has Olasino. Olasino takes a touch and waits for support. Stanage Floody on the instep. A little hurried with the attempt. And it's cleared from going out for a corner. It will be out for a throw-in instead, but inviting on the pressure. Once again, the Adelaide defence. Bit of time being taken over the throw-in. Did mention the pre-game rain. Players are still drying the ball before they take throw-in, so don't be fooled by the bright sunshine out there. It's still quite a slick surface. Ball cleared from deep in midfield. As Bertolicio is caught in possession by Healy.
Well, 3 shots on target for Canberra and 3 shots in total. 100% rate at the moment. And as much as Adelaide are enjoying a bit more possession, a bit more control of the ball, it's in that final third when Canberra do get there, having a bit more success.
Murray's pass. Condon breaks right. Emily Condon. There's the goal Adelaide needed, and Emily Condon provides it. They've waited 2 games and 23 minutes, but the Reds are level. And it's Emily Condon against the opponent, which she loves playing. 5 career goals head-to-head against Canberra now. And it's 1-1.
A really good response from Adelaide United, and Emily Condon, who loves scoring against Canberra. It's a lovely shift of weight. The little jink push to the right just creates enough separation to get a shot away, and the finish across the face of the goalkeeper. Well, it's textbook. She's a technician at the best of times, and that's a really important goal. She's got her side back on level terms.
It's also her first goal since October 2023, so 22 career goals now for the 27-year-old. You feel as though just the general flow of play, it's no less than Adelaide deserve.
Well, they were building. They had those chances, had opportunities down the right, A couple of corners looked good off the boot of Condon. But Canberra's defence just retreating on that occasion, take nothing away from the finish from Emily Condon. But in those moments, they're the moments they'll look at, they'll review, they say, we'll need more pressure on the ball.
Straight from kickoff, Olasino making ground down the right, tried to twist across back into the area, not to be. The American, 23 years old, went to Northwestern University for 4 years before coming to Australia. Here's a look at the possession so far. So Adelaide owning the ball, owning the territory. If anything now, it's over to Canberra to see what their next move will be. Scoring in the first 30 seconds, but largely ceding control of the game since then. Adelaide looking to build a bit more with the momentum behind them. Condon up against Taylor Young, who's not letting her past. But is able to win a throw-in.
Importantly for Adelaide, a good response. Their first goal of the season. They've opened their account at home. And Emily Condon, crucial in this red side.
Matilda McNamara looking for more joy on the right side, but that one is overhit and will run out. Ball with Olasino in midfield. Adelaide winning the territory battle. Canberra looking to redress that. Heyman, return pass to Malone, gets a little touch off Ella Tonkin, but it's only going to be a throw-in down next to the corner flag. Called Malone's name plenty of times. It's her midfield partner, Nano Sasaki, that maybe needs to build into the game a little bit more. It would be a strange feeling for her going up against a team that she spent 4 very fruitful seasons at. So we see Heyman rolling Murray and DiDomizio with a volley and a little fingertipper away from Jenkins. Whether it was on target or not is a moot point as it goes behind for a corner.
Well, team connections there, a centering ball from Heyman.
Now the corner, met first time, off the inside of the post. Rovers denied. Canberra have hit the woodwork in their search to go back in front. And Adelaide gratefully scrambled the ball away. Well, the element of surprise, Rovers, the centre-back, with an unmarked run to the back post. Nearly hooked it in.
And a later rifle as well. Just off the inside of the woodwork. Moments earlier, it was Michelle Heyman up against her former teammate in Holly Murray. Players that know each other well. And a big task in defence for Murray this evening.
Toronto in a sandwich between DiDomizio and Groven. Has DiDomizio injured a hamstring here? She's pulled up sore. Right next to the bench as well, and as she takes a seat, that might be game over this evening for the Canberra goal scorer.
Oh, this isn't good. Not good at all, and you know as a player when you feel that hammy go, whether it's a tweak or something more serious, you hope it's not. But just clutching at that right hammy, and that would be such a shame. A second start consecutively for Canberra United, the goal as well, and a player just finding form, finding confidence, just seems to be in a bit of distress on that right hammy.
So the physio's out, the consultation's underway. Canberra do have a very attacking bench, and they've got real variety in who they could potentially bring on here. The American Emma Hawkins, homegrown hero Kira Bobbin, potential debutante Sienna Dale, or even a more attacking midfielder rather than a forward in Ava Brighter. So they've got a very attack-slanted bench, and they're going to need to choose one of them here because it looks less than ideal for Chiara DiDomizio.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. That was the moment she took herself to ground, and really disappointing scenes. Imagine that will be the end of her afternoon, and Kira Bobbin's been a player who is quickly off the bench for Anthony Jagarenek. Looks to be the case again.
For now, it's 11 versus 10. Adelaide with a numerical advantage for one phase of play. And there's a corner. Well, they thought it was a corner, not to be. The assistant referee says a goal kick. That should prompt Canberra to turn to the bench. And it is the 26-year-old from Belconnen United who scored 27 goals in 21 games, helping to lead Belconnen to the Capital Football Championship in winter. Kira Bobbin on for her third appearance, still looking for a first goal, but has had a couple of chances in the first 2 rounds where she's come on as a sub, but it's different coming on as a late sub to getting a potentially 60 minutes here. So a big opportunity for her, and straight into the action as well, Bobbin. Twisting the ball to Grove. Bertolicio, left-footed clearance through Malone, who then sweeps onto a loose ball. You heard the coach right there. We're going backwards. Not happy with that. Out into the path of Bobbin, the sub, looking to bring a new burst of energy. And Grace Kira Bobbin is someone that you in your own playing career would have played against in the Capital Football NPL.
Yeah, certainly. She's been a standout for Belconnen United for a number of years in Canberra. And across the last 2 appearances for United, just the 2 off the bench in a total of 50-odd minutes. So this is a big occasion for Kira, and she definitely deserves this moment.
Lots of physicality as Bobbin and Bertolicio combine. And Heyman now first to the ball. Olasino's quick. Can she get it back to Heyman in the penalty area? Waits and bides her time and now finds Grove, who's pushed forward. And then Grove, not a regular goal scorer, and just offered that up to the keeper. 1 goal in 72 games. And hasn't scored for the best part of 2.5 years, Sasha Grove, and was in a really good position here.
Yeah, it's a late arrival, and I like that run from Sasha Grove. The pass from Olasino to pick her out too, really clever.
Of course, Grove back at Canberra United after a couple of seasons at Western United. But the one and only goal in her career did come in Canberra colours. And here she is back in the defensive half, winning the ball again, and a throw in. Bertolicio. Well, the game's genuinely in the balance now, just over 30 minutes gone. Canberra have been able to wrestle back some of Adelaide's downward momentum that led them to score the equaliser. They were dominating all the numbers. Healy's header. Adriana Taranto, Bertolicio with a crunching challenge, but it falls to Rossi, and Rossi steers it wide. Adriana Taranto still feeling the effects of Tegan Bertolicio, who's been a little wrecking ball out there so far tonight.
Yeah, heavy contact there. Taranto a little slow to return to her feet. Rossi couldn't quite wrap her boot around the shot. Here's a look at the contact, and Bertolicio coming across, does get the ball, gets a fair piece of Adriana Taranto as well.
Bertolicio only 20, but tonight's game number 38 would be feeling so much more at home in the Ninja A-League. And it's a competition filled with young players, but the number of games experience can be such a factor in feeling a bit more senior as that finds a way out. Canberra have upped their pass accuracy, but Adelaide still retaining the ball better.
Yeah, it's improved as the half has worn on. That opening 15, 20 minutes. A little scrappy, just starting to settle now. I'm sure both sides would like to be a little bit more clinical in holding on to the ball.
Holmes to the Adelaide goal scorer, Emily Condon. Mel Taranto. The centre-back, McNamara, was getting forward, but Grove stepped out, won the ball. Heyman coming deep to help out the midfield. Grove and Taylor Young both darting after the ball, but Ella Tonkin gets between the two. Back to Claudia Jenkins.
Canberra just looking a little isolated when they do get forward, whether it's Michelle Heyman or Olasino in space, but they've been outnumbered by too many red shirts, not enough of Canberra support.
Headers back and forth, bouncing ball, tough to control, but Healy did so. And now Condon, sidestep to lose Taylor Young, advancing towards the box here. Sasaki got a toe in, but it's going to keep deflecting on, and then through comes Bertolicio to prevent Karina Rossi running onto the ball. Emily Condon is in great form tonight. She has won Matilda's cap some years ago now, but we know on her day she is a really top player in this league.
Yeah, she's looking really silky on the ball, really comfortable, just dribbles through a bit of traffic. Almost thought she was a little selfless in that moment, that she could have just kept going and perhaps gotten a shot away herself.
10 minutes of regulation to go in the first half. Healy's header, up and under. Attempted strike out of the air from Tonkin. Rolls calmly down to Sally James. Tonkin returning to the centre of defence. Bobbin split the aerial contest and it falls kindly to Grove. No hesitation on the throw-in. Quickly 10 metres gained.
Lock on.
McNamara has Malone to contend with, so back to Murray. Hodgson will come in and help out here. Murray almost pickpocketed from the blind side, and McNamara hits the line. Adelaide inviting on the pressure, and Canberra United, we've seen this a few times in the half. Trap Adelaide in the corner, win the throw, and then try to build an attack from there. Grove. And now right down next to the corner flag. Adelaide saying it's a throw-in. The captain saying throw-in, throw-in. But the assistant referee over on the opposite side of the pitch, Amber Morris, has said it's a corner kick. So a little bonus here, at least to the naked eye. Assistant referee's on a much better angle than we are. So Canberra, who hit the post via Emma Robers with their previous corner. Through Stanich Floody. Attack the area. Heyman with a darting run. Sits up for Robers. Sasaki tries to sidestep and taken away by Taranto. Well played. Adriana Taranto trying to turn defence into attack. Taylor Young. Back pass all the way down to Sally James. Karina Rossi's going to press all the way to the keeper. And James only as far as Condon. The ball wouldn't quite sit up for her though, and it did escape over the line away from Emily Condon. Bit of hectic end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, quick transition there from the Reds. From a defensive corner, sending it back the other way. Good early release as well from Taranto to find the run of Rossi. Stretched the field quickly. Just opened up a bit of space. Both sides able to consolidate now.
Heyman was thinking about the quick throw-in. Decided to pinpoint Josie Olasino instead. And knocks the ball down the right side. McNamara back to Jenkins. Bit of slip slide going on in the middle of the pitch. Inconsequential to Adelaide coming away with the ball. Rossi to Healy. Aaron Healy played it straight into Nano Sasaki. Olasino wins the ball away. Josie Olasino trying to find a way past Ella Tonkin. And Matilda McNamara perhaps in two minds here about whether a teammate on her haunches is going to get back up. Adelaide seem happy that they do have the full complement, so they'll keep playing here. Everyone's back on their feet. Karina Rossi. Murray. Adriana Taranto. And good combination. Mel Taranto nearly able to set Karina Rossi away after Bertolicio committed, but Robers is able to clear.
Rossi's had a couple of good looks at the ball as well. Young players at the 18-year-old, and as she develops, that part of her game will as well. Just been able to hold up possession a few times. She's had her back to goal and look to help it on quickly. Condon a good case in point. Good use of the body.
McNamara taking the game on. Finds Adriana Taranto. Taranto happy to roam out to the left. And they're not able to find a teammate. Sasaki in the right place and is able to win a free kick. off Adriana Taranto. Another look at how Sasaki won the foul there. Against one of the few players in this Adelaide lineup that wasn't one of her former teammates last season. Here is Adriana Taranto on the ball again. Wheels around onto the right foot and sends it harmlessly wide in the end. And we're into the final 5 minutes of regulation time in the first half.
A big 5 minutes this. Scores level at a goal apiece. Really important for both teams to hold out into half time.
Sasha Grove with a bit of space. Kira Bobbin dispossessed by Izzy Hodgson. Adriana Taranto starting to come into the game more and more. Healy falls off the ball though. Taylor Young capable of turning defence into attack. Found Olasino, promising first touch. Holly Murray right on her case thereafter. And Murray has done well to defend against the American.
Yeah, really good anticipation that from Holly Murray in what was a neat touch from Olasino. Murray on the case, stepped in at the right time.
Both teams appealing, thinking it's their throw. Adelaide get the nod. As it bounces down the line, Sasaki. Sally James sees the oncoming press, so straight back to Nano Sasaki. Biding her time. Played it into a contest. Tonkin stepped out. Taylor Young, Heyman presenting for the ball. Canberra happy to work their way down the right-hand sideline here. Heyman again the target. And this time possession yielded, given away. Flying for the header, Sasaki. Matilda McNamara with a bit of intent, a bit of purpose. Holmes. Back to McNamara. Now Murray. You can hear the shouts coming. Canberra starting to get enthusiastic, and then Olasino just a loose touch and then went chasing after it and commits a foul as a result.
Well, at first it was really good intensity shown again by Olasino. Did well to keep the ball alive for Canberra. Just the contact there, a bit late coming through on Taranto. Catches the... And after what had been a good, well-organised press from Canberra, you could see the design. Just the final product. Hands possession back to Adelaide.
Healy had to rapidly backtrack a couple of metres there to keep the ball in play. A couple of Canberra players laying in wait. And Murray sends Adelaide backwards, but no Canberra players in the vicinity just yet, so all's well that ends well for Jenkins. Canberra have dropped right off here. Waiting for Adelaide to commit to a forward pass. McNamara brings Condon into play. Condon really nice around the corner. Holmes. Bertolicio with a touch, but Adelaide will win the ball back. McNamara. Taranto round the outside. And Hodgson at the edge of the box, and the whistle goes. Kira Bobbin gives away the free kick in really dangerous territory right at the end of the half.
Well, right on the edge of the 18-yard box, and this was good patient play from Adelaide. McNamara just picking the pass, had a couple of options. Hodgson felt the contact. And this right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Right in the blushes of half-time. Really big moment for Adelaide.
Important defensive wall here. Emily Condon, you would fancy to shoot direct on the left foot, but as the goalkeeper, you can't have too many in the wall blocking your view. See Sally James there, just working out where the wall is relative to her near post. She's going to leave the wall there. take up a more central position. Big moment for Adelaide. Malone and Grove waiting in the wall. Emily Condon, 1 goal already. Can she put Adelaide in front before half-time? Massive defensive stand here for Canberra United. The referee's happy. Players waiting in the 6-yard box. Fans making a bit of noise behind the goal. As we tick into 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Here's the moment of truth for Emily Condon. It's low, it's scuffed, and it's just wide. May not have been the prettiest free kick, but it was very nearly effective.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to defend against. A nice look from Emily Condon. Just crept that one to the near post, in amongst legs, in amongst traffic. They'll get one last chance, you'd imagine, in a couple of minutes of stoppage time.
See the Canberra subs here, all watching Emily Condon step out her run-up. Yep, out of the way. Make way for the player in the game. So the subs watch on as Condon swings the corner into the near post. And up and under header from Sasaki. And it's loose in the box and over the bar from Adriana Taranto. And that should have been Adelaide in front at the break.
Yeah, spot on. Should have been Taranto leaning back on that occasion. Sally James had come out not convincingly either, as a goalkeeper. The up and under is not there. And it's a free shot, a free pop for the Reds to put themselves in front just before the half-time break. A huge moment missed.
If they hurry, they perhaps can make the most of the last 40 seconds here before the break. McNamara falls kindly for Izzy Hodgson. She's trying to take the game on here. The skipper plays it to Erin Healy. Healy with an attempt! Wow! Great save from Sally James, and there will be time to take the corner. Healy nearly had Adelaide in front.
Well, top save that from Sally James. Really important bit of goalkeeping. And Erin Healy, so capable on the left, cuts back in on the right. The dip on the strike you could see coming. Sally James, fine bit of goalkeeping.
Corner taken quickly, and James again gets a big hand up. The follow-up shot saved into the crossbar, and Sally James clasps on. Canberra hanging on to parity with dear life at the end of the first half. And the referee's whistle will send them into the rooms grateful that they still have a share of the spoils for now. Adelaide laying siege to the Canberra goal, and Sally James with some massive saves. And Canberra United, they took the lead in the first 30 seconds of the game, but it's been Adelaide's half thereafter. They did break through for their first goal of the Ninja A-League season, and they ended the half very nearly adding to it. Canberra will go back in and reassess. Half-time at Service FM Stadium. It's Adelaide United 1, Canberra United 1. Well, that was a fun first half and a big finish to it. Grace Gill, talk us through some of the highlights. We were just frequently busy in this one, and in the first 30 seconds, Chiara Di Domizio broke the deadlock.
Well, the game really started as it finished off across that first 45 minutes. It's a lovely, lovely finish from Di Domizio, created from the hard work of Michelle Heyman, who gets the better of Izzy Hodgson in that run. And Di Domizio backs herself and just hooks her foot around it in a curling effort to the far post. It's a really, really nice finish. That got Canberra United off and running inside the first minute, and a response was needed from Adelaide United. They had more of the possession, they had more of the opportunities, and Emily Condon, who's looked really sound this first 45 minutes, I think she just deserved that goal, and it was really well taken.
The dribbling skill and close control, and then when the moment came to finish, both defender and keeper lunging, diving at the ball, not able to get something in the way. Grace, what do the stats tell you about where the game is positioned?
Yeah, for large and part, it's Adelaide with more opportunities, more possession, more shots, but Canberra, when they do get in that final third, total shots 6, shots on target 5, so the efficacy and that effort is there, and the game feels like it's really hanging in a balance.
So those are the numbers at the end of the first half. It's 1-1 at Service FM Stadium. Stay with us. We'll find out a little bit more about one of the Adelaide players during our halftime show next. The Mini Roos enjoying Service FM Stadium at half-time. 1-1 the scoreline between Adelaide United and Canberra United in round 3 of this Ninja A-League clash. And it's time to find out a little bit more about one of the key Adelaide players. Their captain, Izzy Hodgson, caught up with us.
Brand new dance. Can you tick-tock? Can you Millie rock?
I think for me, I went over to America when I just turned 19, so I was quite young, just finished high school. So it was just kind of adapting to a new culture, and you're not having your parents there to kind of lend a hand. They're on the other side of the world. So did have to grow up a little bit and think about laundry and dinner and all of those little things, but I loved it so much, and I think it really shaped me as a player, but especially off the field it really shaped me, meeting new people and understanding different cultures and things like that. So yeah, it was honestly a highlight for me. Talked to a lot of young girls about going overseas, and even if they're young, I think it's just a great chance for them to go over and learn something new, and if that develops their football, but I think it would also develop their outside person as well.
And the equalizer is there for Izzy Hodgson.
I have soccer and then I have theatre. Yes, that was another great highlight that I loved about going to America, is I was able to juggle both. I'm also currently studying to be a teacher, and one of my areas is drama and PE, so I'm kind of being able to do both at the moment, which is great, but it's just something I've always done. I pretty much started soccer and theatre at the same time, so it's just kind of been something I've grown up doing, but I just really enjoy it, and I love music, so that's a huge part of my life, so to be able to do both has been really great. I think when I was little, my favourite was I got to play Annie, so that was a pretty big deal for me. But as I got older, my first show I did in America was Rent, and I got to play Maureen, which is another really important role to me, so they're probably my two highlights. I think I started that probably when COVID happened, when everyone wasn't doing a lot, so I was like, oh, I'll get around TikTok. I definitely haven't been as present now as I used to be, but it was just a fun way to express myself, and obviously being a theatre background, it was always something that I was interested in. Yeah, it just kind of took off during COVID lockdown. There was nothing else to do, so I just thought I'd record myself for the public. But I enjoy it, it's just a bit of fun, yeah. I was just doing whatever it was, TikTok dances or acting out little funny scenes that had sounds already to it. I got my mum in a couple of them, which was great. But yeah, I do a bit with my team on away trips or something. I'll try and drag some girls in for a TikTok, which is fun.
I think I work harder than anyone else I know.
I think that's a very big call to make.
Well, anyone I know, I said.
But you know all of us.
But you know all of us too.
So a chance to learn a little bit more about the Adelaide captain.
Well, absolute gem of a human is Izzy Hodgson, and obviously a talented woman as well.
So she'll be a key part of trying to get Adelaide in front in this second half, because let's look at the goals that have come so far. First 30 seconds, Chiara Di Demizio sadly leaving the game with a hamstring injury, but not until after she had scored her 4th career goal here.
Well, first one for Canberra United as well, and that one is always really special. I think she surprised herself a little when you look at the reaction. It took a moment for her to realise that it had indeed gone in the back of the net, but this was just a moment of individual skill, a masterclass from Emily Condon. Just silky on the ball, finds a nice, neat finish across the goalkeeper. I thought she had an excellent first 45 minutes.
And that equaliser gives us our halftime score of 1-1. Of course, it's a bumper weekend of Ninja A-League. Get out to Leichhardt Oval if you can tomorrow, or the home of the Matildas, 2 games back-to-back, the second of which is the grand final rematch at Pororua Park in action for the first time this season in Wellington on Sunday, and Spencer Park hosting Brisbane Roar against the Western Sydney Wanderers to round out round 3. Second half coming up on the other side of this short break. Stay with us. Live pictures from Service FM Stadium in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. Great night out for the family and the youngsters enjoying the fair. We've had two pretty good goals and the promise of plenty more. Adelaide United and Canberra United 1-1 at half-time of this round 3 Ninja A-League match. Neither team has won so far this season, Grace Gill, so I doubt either would be satisfied with a draw, and they'll, I imagine, both be doing their level best to try and win the game in the second half.
And as they should be. A game that really needs to find 3 points at either end of it. Adelaide United, Canberra United. It looked like it had started really well for Canberra, and it did, but Adelaide came back into the half as it wore on.
Service FM Stadium always gets plenty in. Now, Claudia Jenkins has made her way back out. Interesting to see the Football Ferns, the New Zealand squad, named during the week. Jenkins, dual citizen, declared for New Zealand and has actually been called into New Zealand squads in the past. But you look at that New Zealand team, you've got Anna Leet, who's at Newcastle. You've got Vic Essen, who's just come back to the Wellington Phoenix. I'm sure Claudia Jenkins will be hoping that she's in the mix for the New Zealand national team before too long, especially with some of the players she's directly competing against right here in the Ninja A-League this season.
Yeah, absolutely. She had a top season last year as well. So important, this one for Jenkins. Big half coming up.
Both teams making their way out of the tunnel. Kira Bobbin was subbed on in the first half for the injured Chiara Di Demizio. Grace, have you got a sub in mind for either team? Or, I mean, when you've got Chelsea Dorber, Adelaide's all-time top scorer, and Fiona Wirtz, a previous Julie Dolan medalist, on the bench, you know that you've got a couple of pretty reliable options to turn to.
Yeah, some really good attacking options off the bench for Adelaide United. And for Canberra, as you mentioned, having to dig into their bench a little earlier than anticipated, bringing Kira Bobbin on. Ava Breedis, perhaps with some more minutes. I think she's been growing across the season, was good off the bench last weekend against Wellington.
Is there an option for either team that can give them a bit more control in midfield rather than, at times, the chaos we've seen in the first half? And not so much end-to-end, really more just a lack of security. The number of times both teams have given possession away deep in their defensive half and invited the other team on, and that feels like it might lead to a goal, and it could be decisive depending on who strikes next.
I think particularly getting Nano Sasaki a little bit more on the ball. She's such a good ball player and was just a bit quiet in that first half. Darcy Malone involved in a lot, but just getting a little bit more of a grip on that midfield. All smiles in the Canberra group, which is wonderful to see.
Yep, Sally James making some big saves at the end of that first half to preserve the 1-1 scoreline. And there is Sasaki, the 26-year-old Japanese, playing her 70th Ninja A-League game tonight. Just the third at Canberra, her new club. 2021 to 2025, 67 games, 4 goals for Adelaide United, including the very first one against Canberra, no less. So Canberra kick off the second half. Michelle Heyman gets the action back underway. A 1-1 scoreline and all to play for these two teams seeking a first win of the Ninja A-League season. They were both finalists last season, and they don't want to spot the competition too big of a head start. Canberra working the ball from goalkeeper all the way around to the left of midfield. And Adelaide win the throw, and Izzy Hodgson, who we did hear from at halftime, to take the throw in here. The captain of Adelaide, straight to Bobbin of Canberra United. The ball pitches, and Heyman is able to read it best. Can't set Olasino away. Bit of a loose touch from Tonkin, but has the time to recover the ball. Here's Jenkins. Olasino, the closing speed of Olasino is impressive. Reminds me a little bit of Sophie Harding, actually, with the way she moves and kind of the sneaky way she runs and accelerates. Of course, Harding, a previous Dolan medalist, now plying her trade in America. And Olasino, an American, plying her trade right here in Australia. Darcy Malone stuck in a 1-on-2, but refusing to give in. That's the tenacious midfield battle of Darcy Malone. Look at her reaction to giving the free kick away.
I did think that free kick was going to go the way of Canberra United. Not to beat, but bodied either way. Bit of give and take on that one, but you can see the reaction from Malone.
Complete shock. That's the heat of battle. And now another free kick here. Perhaps this one a little bit easier to pay. Sasaki looking to make an impact. Crashing through the back of Erin Healy.
Not an easy one, just the knee up through the back. Easy decision for referee Beck Mackey.
So a long-range free kick here, just inside the defensive half as Murray sends it towards Healy, who's got to chase it to the sideline, but had support from Condon. Perfect player to kill the ball with the first touch and try to keep the attack going, not to be. Heyman brings the ball out of the sky. Great vision, knew that Stanic Floody was on in the middle. And how about that pass to release Josie Olasino? She holds the ball up and waits at the edge of the box. Is there another burst of acceleration? The shot on sight blocked. Stanic Floody trying to twist and turn on the ball, and Taranto able to repel for Adelaide, and the Taranto twins combine, but it was Mel who won the ball.
Well, great build-up that from Canberra United. A lovely turn and pass to release from Michelle Heyman in the middle of the field, and then Stanic Floody as well. Olasino just running into a bit of trouble.
James with a pass to Bertolicio. Bobbin, good strength, able to shrug Izzy Hodgson, and then the touch was a long way out in front, and the referee's going to give advantage here. Adelaide have a player down, but they've got the ball in attack. Condon laying it through the right, not quite for Izzy Hodgson, and the ball will find its way out for a goal kick, and we're going to have a potential card here for Bobbin, who's quick on the scene to apologise, and waving in earnest to the bench here after this collision with Dylan Holmes.
It's an awkward one, just that reaching right leg of Holmes, and concerned players from both teams around it. You don't like to see this, the contact coming through on the right knee. It's hard to tell exactly if it's a hyperextension or contact to the outside, but she hasn't moved from that spot since going down, and players from both teams quick to wave on the physios.
So the physio is out there. One more look. Oh, yeah, hard contact to the outside of the right knee there.
Yeah, saw one. That Holmes lunging for the challenge and Bobbin just sweeping through.
Holmes in real distress. One of the heart and soul players of Adelaide United. 28 years, won Matilda's cap, and tonight's appearance number 106 for her. She really has been ever present and one of the heartbeats of this team for such a long time, as she's assessed by both the doctor and the physio. Adelaide are going to go and huddle up, and we're going to have a look at the goals from the first half if you've only just joined us. And unfortunately, one of them was scored by an injured player as well, Chiara Di Demizio, on the end of Michelle Heyman's pass here, and an early shot 30 seconds into the game leading to the first goal.
Well, this is really off the first passage of play from kickoff. Canberra looking forward, releasing Michelle Heyman, who still has those legs, still can run into space really well. And this really delightful finish from Di Demizio, who unfortunately a little later on in that first half had to go off clutching at her right hamstring, but she'll remember that highlight for some time.
And then Emily Condon here really seizing on a loose ball and able to use her evasiveness and her skill to unlock the Canberra defence.
Emily Condon at her very best lifts the Adelaide team around her, and we see across the course of her time with Adelaide that if Emily Condon has a good season, so does Adelaide.
Very true. Now, Theo Siunis and assistant coach Marushka Walters, you see the earpiece in there. They've probably got communications out to the doctor and the physio. So a big decision here. Holmes is able to walk under her own steam. Of course, she missed about the first third of last season, didn't come back until December. Missed about the first 8 or 9 games with an injury that had left her unable to run. So she has had a little bit of recent injury history, but she did consistently, from that comeback, play right through until the end of the season.
She looks pretty sore on that knee, a little shake of the head. Doesn't look too happy at all, which is really distressing scene. She's an important player in this Adelaide side.
In terms of like for like, Paige Zoyce is on the bench as a central midfielder, but it might prompt Adelaide to think about Chelsea Dorber or Fiona Wirtz and then maybe drop a different player a little deeper into midfield as one of the forwards comes on. That decision will be made imminently, no doubt. Stanage flooding in the meantime as Canberra try to capitalise. Sasha Grove bombing forward. Heyman calls for it in the middle. It's over Heyman's head. Malone roving back to take possession. Olasino, no time wasted driving across. Straight onto the head of Matilda McNamara. And Malone back to retrieve the ball again and keep Canberra on the attack. You see Holmes just under the scoreboard there walking around the perimeter fence in the background. So it's still 11 versus 10. Canberra with a little power play here. And McNamara's deflection keeps it away from Heyman, as does Tonkin, keeping it away from Hayley Taylor-Young.
That's important tidy-up work from Ella Tonkin. The clearance not so convincing. But Sasha Grove continuing to get forward, continuing to try and pepper with those crosses, just putting in dangerous areas.
So Mary Stanage-Floody to take the corner kick. Just a glided corner straight onto the head of McNamara. Taylor-Young trapped the ball. Adelaide clear once again. Grove. Left or right? Decides to go left. Olasino pops it to the edge of the box, deflecting off Tonkin again. And Stanage-Floody happy to watch it roll out for a throw-in. Still no decision on the Adelaide sideline. They're going to take their time here. Give Dylan Holmes maybe every chance to continue in the game. Taylor-Young, Sasaki, offside. And that's a real let-off there, given that it is 11 versus 10. Canberra cannot make the most of it.
In those moments when you can see across the line, you've got to be so aware of your opposition's defence. Adelaide stepped up at the right time, well marshalled.
Well, they should be in no hurry to make the sub here, Adelaide. Yet Holly Murray's just going to wait and give the bench every chance to prepare a player, but nope, we continue. 11 versus 10. Healy's flick header on. Bertolicio. Malone. Back to Rovers. All the way back to the goalkeeper. That'll suit Adelaide just fine. Canberra a long way from the goal they're attacking. Switch out to the left side. Darcy Malone. Well, Adelaide sitting back, just watching Canberra play the ball amongst themselves here.
Well, Canberra have that numerical advantage, just consolidating whether Dylan Holmes rejoins the field or Adelaide look to make a sub.
There's Chelsea Dorby getting readied, so we flagged that maybe one of the attackers would come on for Holmes and then one of the attackers on the pitch would move back into midfield. And at last, the change goes through. So they've survived a good 2.5, 3 minutes there. 11 versus 10. That's a little tactical win for Adelaide. And they now activate the change. Our thoughts are with Dylan Holmes. Hopefully not a serious injury. There she is, continuing to quite bravely walk under her own steam. But the reality is written across her face that she is injured. And Chelsea Dorber comes on, and we'll see how that changes Adelaide's formation and who sets up where.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one, and do hope that's nothing too serious for Dylan Holmes. But Chelsea Dorber, an attacking player, as Holmes continues to limp her way to the bench.
So it's 11 versus 11 once again. Karina Rossi taking the game on down the left-hand side. It's got Sasaki in pursuit. Sasaki veers away. Rovers came across. And now it finds her hands full and eventually gets the ball away. And with a free kick too, just when Rossi thought she'd won a corner.
Just as Rovers was appealing to the referee and quickly apologised after the fact. Rossi had done well there up until that very last moment, just the contact through the back. And it looks as though the reshuffle perhaps has dropped Adriana Taranto back into the midfield with Dorber stepping into the front line.
Canberra are going to be the ones venturing forward, though. Grove with a promising run, takes the ball in stride, delivers the cross low to the near post. And Heyman just a little late on the scene. It all unfolded a little bit quickly, down that left flank. Jenkins with the claim and the throw. Dorber's first touch. Grove still running, winning the ball back. Immediately looking to get Canberra back on the offensive again.
Incredible work rate that is from Sasha Grove. You see the recovery of the movement, had pushed forward and then retreated back to win possession.
Hodgson. First time ball from Murray. Headed down by Rossi. Matilda McNamara. Taylor Young committed to the cross and had to get the ball. Otherwise, it was Emily Condon unmarked at the edge of the box. But that's the dare of Hayley Taylor Young. And even though she's run into Adriana Taranto now, it's the sort of mindset that perhaps speaks to Canberra, not settling for anything in this game, willing to take the game on.
Substitution for Adelaide United coming off number 12, Karina Rossi.
We're going to have another sub. The hour mark is getting closer, but Karina Rossi, consecutive starts for her, and she's replaced here by the former Julie Dolan medalist Fiona Wirtz. Congratulations for Rossi, the 18-year-old, as she makes her way to the bench. And the more senior Fiona Wirtz, the 29-year-old English woman, comes on. Her second appearance of the season, curtailed a little bit in pre-season with an injury, but like Chelsea Dorber, building the minutes back into the legs.
Building back volume, building back minutes. A good shift by Karina Rossi. She can feel really proud about that performance. And Chelsea Dorber, Fiona Wirtz, two players in recent years in the A-League we know have been prolific in finding goals. And that says to me that Theo Siunis is really looking to chase this game, won't settle for a draw, doesn't want just the point at home. Adelaide dearly needing to get their first win of the season in front of a home crowd.
Malone whistled for the foul there. Wirtz's first involvement in the game is to win a free kick.
Yeah, a little too heavy-handed through the back. Darcy Malone, I don't think she can have too many complaints about that one, and doesn't.
Adelaide take the free kick short. Emily Condon. Taylor Young got a boot in. Heyman spins away from trouble. That's for Olasino to make a move ahead of the ball, but Heyman's got her hands full with Matilda McNamara, who wins the ball away. A kind ricochet going the way of Adriana Taranto, moves it on to Mel Taranto. Still lots of time to go in this game. About to tick up to the hour mark. Both teams have had forced changes. Both teams now thinking about their tactical changes for the remainder of the match. Dorber's pass through the right. Wirtz, blocked initially by Bertolicio. Prodded into the penalty area. And away comes Robers, able to win the ball. Olasino. Back to Robers. Saw a runner in bobbin through the left, but couldn't find her. Izzy Hodgson makes the intercept. Switch of flanks to Erin Healy. Healy one-on-one against Taylor Young. Breezes past. And then Taylor Young, how about that for a recovery? Refused to be beaten and comes away with the ball. Finds Heyman. Now Malone. Well, didn't decisively take possession, and that's forced Canberra all the way back to their goalkeeper here. Got to be careful with Wirtz. Fresh off the bench, and now possession coughed up. Red alert here for the Canberra defence. Condon with a strike straight at the goalkeeper.
Almost gifted Adelaide another opportunity. Still really transitional, 60 minutes in rather. This pass, just a little unconvincing. We saw how lethal Emily Condon can be in front of goal. Hayley Taylor Young on a couple of opportunities now, putting in massive shifts, not giving up on the chase. Just working hard out there.
Here she is in the attacking half, taking this throw in. Tonkin and Murray maybe got in each other's way, but Heyman is well behind in the queue for the ball, and you see it's all smiles there between Jenkins and Hodgson as they pile into each other in their eagerness to win the ball back and prevent any further Canberra attack. Jenkins launches long. Wirtz with a half volley down. Dorber, Condon, good combination, and Healy nearly set through.
almost a very good ball. The idea was right. The weight behind the pass was good. Probably a little bit too straight in the end. But Healy just starting to creep into more advanced positions. She too had a great year in front of goal last season.
Murray given plenty of time to advance. Adriana Taranto whips a ball in, catches a deflection. It's going to bounce through the penalty area as a result. You saw Sally James there nearly committed to a ball she might have run underneath. Instead, Grove with a dash, but now has to stop and turn back, and Mel Taranto harassing and too much, according to the referee.
This is that moment. Taranto just hustling through the back of Sasha Grove. And the line starting to advance for Adelaide. You can see Dorber and Wirtz, the two substitutes, just pressing a little higher when Canberra have the ball at the back. 14 shots for Adelaide, 7 for Canberra.
And there might be number 15 on the way here. Wirtz! Parried and saved by James, so now more than double the number of shots for Adelaide to Canberra.
Well, she too is capable, Fiona Wirtz. And just a little slip. The save from James is there, but a little bobble just in front.
Long ball from Stanich Floody, and good goalkeeping from Jenkins to get out of her line. Heyman nearly away. And just the passing range of Mary Stanich Floody there, able to really create a bit of danger, and hasn't that just flipped the game in an instant? Adelaide building, getting better and better, and now Canberra have themselves on the attack. Malone. And McNamara, Bobbin, did not keep it in. Tried to intervene by sliding around McNamara there, but the ball had already found its way over the line.
Well, she's had some really good defensive moments, Matilda McNamara. Good use of the body. Smart just gets her frame in front of her opponent. Holds the player off.
Aerial duel, Healy's header over to Dorber. Late challenge. And Tegan Bertolicio is going to receive the first yellow card of the game. Adelaide didn't take the advantage there. Referee calling play to a halt, and Tegan Bertolicio is in the book.
Well, she walks a fine line in some of those challenges, Bertolicio. And this one just steps across Chelsea Dorber a little recklessly, taking out that right knee of Dorber, and Dorber not too pleased about it.
So Bertolicio will have to watch her step. You imagine that the robust nature of how she's challenged at times in this game might have to be curtailed ever so slightly. However, you don't want to rob yourself of too much of that competitive spirit, especially given the amount of defending Canberra have had to do. And this free kick is going to give Adelaide another chance. Adriana Taranto drops it at the penalty spot. Volleyed away by Taylor Young, not decisively by any means. Wirtz trying to get her left foot away. Was that a handball against Bertolicio? Some of the crowd were convinced, the referee not so. Out of the penalty area, it tumbles out for a throw-in Adelaide's way. Well, plenty to unpack in that scrap in the penalty box.
Yeah, just a bit going on there. Not convincingly cleared out of the back, bobbling around. Beck Mackey off to have a chat with someone.
So the ball is currently in the hands of Hayley Taylor-Young at right back, and now the throw-in comes. It almost looks like she's talking to herself, but I'm sure that's coming from one of the assistant referees on the communications into the ear, just confirming whatever was going on. Here's Adriana Taranto trying to slalom through. Now Wirtz, and turned into traffic immediately. Izzy Hodgson had bombed forward and then slipped over. It was actually an obstacle, an additional one for Adelaide to try and get around. And that pass lets Canberra out of jail. They can relax. All right, so Grace, let's go back to the penalty area scrap.
Well, if we can get our microscopes out, a little bobbling ball here, shouts and a bit of contact. There was a shout. I don't think there's any in that handball there. Eventually, it's Robers who does prod it away.
And you've got a striker like Fiona Wirtz in the vicinity, though. Someone who can just fashion her body to get a shot away. That's why the defending is so frantic from Canberra. They'd love to spend some time down in attack, and Olasino can create right here. A sweeping ball, Heyman in on Jenkins, Stanic Floody, and it's wide. Jenkins was down and out. Stanic Floody perhaps not to know. And the Adelaide goalkeeper gingerly getting back up as the chance goes begging for Canberra.
That's a really slick move from Canberra United. I love that centering ball from Josie Olasino. So tough to defend that, and Michelle Heyman flying in. Good goalkeeping. Claudia Jenkins comes out, makes it really tough for Heyman. And this is the follow-up shot, the chance for Mary Stanic Floody.
Is it on target until Murray glances it away? Because that's the result, a corner kick, which Mary Stanic Floody is going to take. In at the near post, oh, and just wide at the far post. The contact was not decisive. An opportunity in the air for Canberra. And they're going to make a change, and it's a Ninja A-League debut for a very promising young player, 18-year-old Sienna Dale, a former junior Matilda who actually tore her ACL while on Australia under-17 duty. That was Mary Stanic Floody's last involvement in the game. And Sienna Dale from Manly United is into the action. She's rapid, she's got great technique, and again, she was in the national under-17 team when she lost 12 months of her career to ACL rehab. So it's a thrilling moment for her to have done the rehab and come back and make her debut as an 18-year-old.
A really special moment, and a big congratulations to Sienna Dale to don the green of Canberra United. And important minutes coming up as well. A little over 20 minutes to impact the game, and Mary Stanic Floody makes way after some really important involvements herself.
Well, it was a good final save from Stanic Floody. It was the long pass to Heyman, and then that shot, which has been deflected out for a corner. Canberra looking for some fresh legs, though, a switch of youngsters. It's worth remembering that Stanic Floody is only 19, but because she made her debut at Sydney FC as a 15-year-old, today was game number 56 of her career. Here's Tonkin for Adelaide. Skies a ball, which James doesn't quite get away yet. Grove nods it down. Olasino helping out, as does Bobbin. As it tumbles through the penalty area, Wirtz, roundhouse kick, didn't make contact. And finally, a decisive clearance comes from Hayley Taylor-Young. And Grace, you're writing every kick here because it's hair-raising stuff at the times in the Canberra defence.
And a few times that's happened, just a bouncing ball, really tough to clear, players not asserting themselves and running through it, probably as they need to.
Adriana Taranto. And even in a 1-on-3, has been able to win Adelaide a corner. And I think Emily Condon has said from the left-hand side, Adriana, this one's yours. Adelaide still territorially dominant, as you can see from the final third entries there. And with the ball deep in attack, Adriana Taranto is hoping this corner kick can put them in front. 20 minutes of regulation to go. As Taranto strikes the corner. Good defensive header from Heyman. Able to get it out of the penalty area, and then Izzy Hodgson's pass will allow Canberra to escape. Still plenty of subs available to Canberra United. Alex McKenzie, a defender. Emma Hawkins, the American winger. Ava Brightus, attacking central midfielder. Adelaide United have still got young attacker Amelia Murray, and also Paige Joyce, a central midfielder, and also Emily Hodgson, the right back, who's been moonlighting as a left back the last couple of seasons. And those fresh legs might be vital. Time was the shout from Anthony Yagranek and Hayley Taylor-Young. Well, did well to win the ball, and then as she fell out of the way, Josie Olasino tried to come in and take over, but Emily Condon has won it back for the home side.
I've seen that from a few players, just slipping, losing their feet, maybe a bit of a slippery surface.
Heyman, square ball here, what a chance, Sienna Dale, and again, as you just flagged, Grace, the feet gave way, slipped after trying to make ground for the ball. Well, that would have been quite the introduction for the young attacker. Instead, it's Adelaide who move, and McNamara's pass is repelled away by Bertolicio. Wirtz rolls out to the left. Taylor Young went to ground. Wirtz kept the feet. Taylor Young back up. But the ball was moved on to Adriana Taranto. Taranto shrugs Sasaki, is going to shoot from distance. Hits the crossbar on its way over.
Well, special strike. That was just ricochets off the crossbar, and there was a little shake of the head from Sally James there. She was just off her line. And if this dipped just a couple of inches more.
Well, we saw on that phase of play, Taranto ran off Sasaki, and perhaps that's because Sasaki's got nothing left in the tank here. She's taken a seat, and you wonder if that means it's going to be game over in her return to Adelaide to take on her former team. Looking at that Canberra bench, you suspect that Ava Brightis is the most likely sub to come on, but could they potentially bring on the winger Emma Hawkins or the defender Alex McKenzie, Grace? And the pickle juice is generally a reliable indicator that there's some cramping going on as well.
Yeah, I think a perfect opportunity for a player the likes of Ava Brightis to take to the field.
Oh, it's the defender, Alex McKenzie, who is summoned. McKenzie, 36th appearance, only 23 years old. Do you think this will be like for like and McKenzie might be asked to play a defensive midfield role, or are we about to see a big shuffle from Canberra?
We'll have to have a look at how this plays out. Times in possession, Canberra have been playing with a 3 at the back. Emma Robers holding down that 3. The speedsters in Taylor Young and Bertolicio pushing forward, as does Grove. So we'll take a moment just to see how this reshapes the team.
Adelaide lurking with intent, but giving Sally James enough time to clear up to the halfway line. Heyman around the shoulder of Taranto, not perturbed by any stretch. Adriana Taranto, Kira Bobbin snapping at the heels and was just able to get a foot in. Malone pursuing Tonkin. Now Mel Taranto to Adriana. Here's Wirtz from a standing start. Moves the ball on to Erin Healy. Healy's attempted a cross, blocked by McKenzie. And Alex McKenzie straight off the bench, straight into defending as the ball goes behind for a corner.
Up to task, Alex McKenzie, well defended. 15 minutes to play.
Adriana Taranto steps out her run-up over the corner kick. Low to the near post, trying for the sneak attack. Second ball, Taranto, just a floater here and nodded down by Tonkin. The shot from distance. And Izzy Hodgson, even though Canberra's her favourite opponent too, just like Emily Condon. 3 goals in 13 head-to-head appearances, is her #1 goal-scoring opponent. But that one well over the bar. Dare I suggest, what minute do Canberra start thinking about holding on for a draw? Because 15 minutes, I think we're still too far from the finish line for them to invite Adelaide on, given in general play Adelaide have created so much in this game so far.
Well, that's a good point, and you wonder if the substitute of Alex McKenzie has anything to do with the thinking there. More attacking players in, Emma Hawkins available on the bench.
Dorba. Bending ball. Tumbles past Condon. McKenzie first to the ball and pleading to the referee, but no foul there. Condon in space. Mel Taranto. dominating most of the underlying stats, but the scoreline remains level 1-1. And a deflected cross means another corner kick, and this one is dangerous because it's going to be Emily Condon, and it's going to be an in-swinger.
Well, delivery service for corners across the game have been excellent, I'd say, from both teams. Condon, Stanic-Floody in the first half.
Well, the two hands above the head. When Dylan Holmes did that last week, it meant I'm shooting direct on goal. Is it the same when it's Emily Condon giving the signal? Near post, flicked in, Adelaide in front. It's been coming. And they get their reward, one set piece too many, and Matilda McNamara stooping to the header. Emily Condon's corner crucial. And Adelaide United lead for the first time this season, and they are good value for it.
Well, it's quality on the delivery and even better quality on the header. Into a dangerous area, congested, players all around her. Matilda McNamara gets the glance in touch. And it was coming. There were warning signs from Adelaide United. And Canberra on that occasion can't see that one out. It's a really well taken finish.
Fifth career goal for the centre-back. And for Adelaide fans who watched last week's game, in the post-match interview, Matilda McNamara said she was going to be watching back a header that she missed a number of times during the week. But Grace, that's progress. She's made amends and now has what looks, with 12 minutes to go, very good value to be a potential match-winning goal. Canberra are going to need a pretty dramatic change in momentum here to turn this around.
Well, she's a great target player, Matilda McNamara, and for all her defensive effort so far tonight. She's a good frame, got good height, and when you've got that kind of service and delivery as you do off the boot of Emily Condon, that's always a threat.
Well, it's a goal and an assist now for Condon, and Adelaide, after trailing in the first 30 seconds, lead this game. Canberra need to find a new source of energy. Hayley Taylor-Young might be it. And that is picked off by Jenkins. A thumbs up from Michelle Heyman, but she was caught behind the Adelaide goalkeeper there.
Well, 10 minutes to play of regulation time. And it'll just be interesting to watch the dynamic of the game. Do Adelaide keep trying to play? Do they try and consolidate their substitutions so far? Chelsea Dorber, Fiona Wirtz, definitely suggesting a more attacking mindset.
Free kick here. Well, you make a good point, Grace, because if Adelaide were to go defensive and invite Canberra back on, there's no reason not to think that they can score a third and put a bit of a gap between themselves and Canberra here. It's worth remembering that Canberra coming back from Wellington last week. They did both play on the same day, so coming in off a 6-day break, not necessarily a disadvantage, but of course, no travel for Adelaide with consecutive home games. So you'd think they might have more in the legs here, unless Canberra can seek a source of inspiration. Malone, Heyman with a little touch. Olasino on the right, better from the visiting side. Josie Olasino hangs up across. A leap in the middle from Sienna Dale, and the defence is able to clear. Taylor-Young. Probing the right again. Olasino in plenty of space. Can she pick out a teammate? Good defensive header away. Izzy Hodgson able to skim it through the penalty area away from Sienna Dale. It will be a Canberra throw, but they are starting to spring back to life.
Yeah, asking a bit of Adelaide's defence. Some really good deliveries into the box. Sienna Dale looking confident, chasing those, trying to get on the end of them.
Malone out to Grove. Grove saw Robers advancing in the middle. Taylor-Young crossing the order of the day. Bobbin, a fresh air swing. Canberra trying to create through Robers, and then an indiscriminate grab of the shirt on Healy leads to the second yellow card of the game, and Robers joins Bertolicio in the referee's book.
That's just frustration coming through for Emma Robers. Loses the first touch, and just the tug of the shirt As a player, you know what you're getting yourself into in those sort of moments. She's had a big shift this afternoon, been busy at the back.
And for now, there is still plenty of time in the game. Adelaide would love to make the clock their friend here.
Well, this will be the first test for Adelaide this season. First time they've led in their 3 games so far. How they manage that, how they control that. This is where the leaders need to step up, communicate to some of the younger players.
Of course, coming off their most successful season ever last campaign, 3rd after the home and away. Made the semi-final after taking care of business in the elimination final against Western United, their first ever finals win. So the club did come into the season on a high. And a first win will have them feeling like they've shaken off a slow start. But it's easier said than done with 7 minutes plus stoppage to go. Tonkin. Murray's long ball onto the head of Taylor Young. Headers exchanged back and forth. Adriana Taranto brings it to ground. Dorba. Now Matilda McNamara. And Hodgson not able to trap the ball, so Canberra can pick up possession here. Can they take it end to end? Olasino immediately surrounded by 3 opponents and just gifts the ball straight back to Adelaide. So little tactical wins appearing all over the pitch for the home side at the moment. Chelsea Dorba. Hodgson. So activity on the bench. And Emily Condon with a goal and an assist comes to the sideline. She's going to be ushered off the pitch on the opposite side of the field. And we know that when her game time is up, Adelaide's performances are generally pretty good.
That's a great shift from Emily Condon. Goal aside, assist aside. And it's Paige Zoyce coming in. A few minutes to control and see out the last 5 or so of this match.
So fresh legs into midfield, and Adelaide's catalyst leaves the game, having been the difference maker. Holly Murray. Oh, pass out into open field. Malone round the corner. Sienna Dale herring after the ball. She's clattered, and the referee says all ball. Holly Murray, heart and mouth defending, but able to come away with possession.
That's a top tackle from Holly Murray and had to get that one oh so right. She does. All ball. A lot of Sienna Dale as well, but really good connection, really good contact with the ball. And on that occasion, Holly Murray has come up in a big way.
So Canberra reload and go again. Dale. Dispossessed by Zoyce, her first activity off the bench. And now Healy trying to find a head of steam, and it means Mackenzie comes across. One more angle, Grace.
Well, there's a couple of shouts from it, and certainly one of those was from Sienna Dale herself. Confident challenge.
Benefit of being the home team too. If that was the McKellar crowd, might have been a very different noise in the referee's ear as that tackle went crashing in.
They would have had something to say about it, I assure that much.
Instead, they've had good home support tonight, Adelaide United at Service FM Stadium. And they are 4 minutes plus stoppage away from getting to enjoy a first win of the campaign. Tonkin has got Wirtz on the outside. Fiona Wirtz stops and props. Paige Zoyce. Pass from Tonkin, blocked, but gets another chance. Mel Taranto. Adelaide just owning the ball at the moment. Canberra watching, trying to win it back. Mackenzie, and eventually the whistle goes. And Mel Taranto making a case as she runs back into position. Both Taranto's so busy, as we've come to expect. Robers from deep in defence. Off the head of Murray, Taylor Young slides out, Adelaide throw. Well, you talked about game management when we ticked up to 10 minutes to go, Grace, and what are you seeing from Adelaide so far that's going to steer them to the finish line?
Well, so far I'd say they're handling it pretty well. Just taking moments when they can. A couple of little niggly fouls that they have to be really careful with, and especially in their final defensive third. They don't want to give any of those away.
Olasino, good turn to open up the pitch, pops it over the top. Heyman making a run, but sent wide and decided against twisting onto a cross first time and wins a corner as a result. No Mary Stanage-Floody, so it's going to be a different corner taker here for Canberra. And Matilda McNamara, having put Adelaide in front from a corner, now turns her focus to defending. And it's going to be Emma Robers, the centre-back, getting across to take the corner kick. Is this Canberra's moment to grab a point on the road? Robers hangs it high, Jenkins up. Jenkins gets a good hand on the ball. Taylor Young chasing it down, is going to twist it back into the box. Heyman with a leap. But from that distance, you need to have a very powerful header to really trouble the keeper.
Oh, she's a serious aerial threat. We know that about Michelle Heyman. And in a sea of red, she picks out the contact. What was a good delivery, up and under, but 3-4 red shirts around, and it's Michelle Heyman who does find the header. Tough one to steer goalward. And Claudia Jenkins happy just to take as much time off this final regulation.
Flick headed from Healy is going to find its way out. Crowd trying to generate a bit of support here for the home side. They're down the right end as far as they're concerned. Wirtz. Now it might be time to head for the corner flag. Healy in no rush. Just waits for Sasha Grove to engage and says, yep, corner it is. Come and take the ball off me. And it's out for a throw in.
Valuable seconds taken by Erin Healy and Izzy Hodgson. Just taking the time to get across.
This is who you want, the captain. Dorber. Her thoughts of heading back to the corner as well. Seemingly so. Grove clears, but only clears out for a throw-in. It's death by 1,000 cuts. This is a fan watching on, just hoping your team can break into open space. And, well, the referee's boss, John Moss, this season did say that he expected studious timekeeping from all fourth officials, and that's what referee of the year, Izzy Cooper, has done. And 7 minutes, Grace. Do you agree with the number?
Well, from what I understand, that's been added up every time the referee indicates to do so. Not just substitutions, not just injury, but those little moments that the fourth official has responsibility to make sure that the right time is amended at the end of the game. So when it comes to time wasting, it does add up.
Does that give Canberra one more little burst? Taylor Young was trying to provide it, but that ball has slid out. It's a long, 7 minutes is a long time to take the ball down to the corner and not have any other priority, but big test here for Theo Siunas. The on-field leaders of Adelaide, can they get this scoreline to the finish line? Can they score a third and make it a moot point? Long ball here, Robers chasing. It's going to bend down towards the paint of the line and eventually find its way out. Lee Jagrenek. Canberra have scored in all 3 games this season, but on track at the moment for 1 draw and 2 losses. Heyman, little drag step, able to keep the ball in. Plays it back in field, but Wirtz picks the pocket of McKenzie. Dorber. Bertoliccio's on a card, don't forget. Dorber takes the shot. It'll be a corner, and that will suit Adelaide just fine.
Well, there's a bit of feeling about this one. Watch Wirtz just dangle the foot out, kicking out. Maybe lucky to get away with that one there.
And then you see that in the first half, Tegan Bertolicio would have absolutely smashed into the challenge. But being on a card, it just changes your mindset when you defend, doesn't it?
Well, you have to have that discipline. The last thing Canberra United need is a player sent off.
Paige Joyce over the corner. No thoughts of keeping it down in the corner. Still 5 minutes to go. And a goal here would do it. But Worth slices it away, so much so that Joyce is going to get another chance. Paige Joyce in and was looking for Tonkin. Batted down by Sally James. And quick to release. The ball tumbles on. Bit of resistance coming. And Taranto braced for impact. And Bobbin, who's been quite aggressive with some of the challenges today, has gone crashing in there. And Mel Taranto is down. And again, the timekeeping will be done here as she just makes sure that she hasn't been completely wiped out by that challenge.
Just heavy through the left-hand side of Taranto as Bobbin, who's played her most minutes in green, early first half substitute. And we saw the goal scoring Chiara Di Domizio go off. Taranto back to her feet, which is good to see.
And when you're in front 2-1, you can afford maybe a smile. Half of stoppage time, as originally signalled, has now expired. There might be a little bit more tacked on as a result of that delay. Adriana Taranto, Paige Joyce, nicks inside, has got red shirts in support. Mel Taranto, Dorber on the right. Chelsea Dorber runs wide. And now wheels onto a cross. And catching practice in at the near post for Sally James. Caught in two minds about where to go. Long eventually wins. Murray into a header. Adriana Taranto. Healy. Taylor Young with a little nibble. And now the ball is there to be won. Oh, McKenzie not able to take possession, puts it out for a throw in. I think she knows there, McKenzie, that the instinct said put it out for a throw, but the situation of the game says try to keep it in.
Hayley Taylor Young doing well on that occasion, just a little nibble at the challenge and came out with possession successfully, but now still with Adelaide. And again, they'll just take their time, see out as many seconds as they can. Still trying to play, not just taking it to the corner.
It's interesting, the change in mindset. They were taking it to the corner until the fourth official held up 7 more minutes on the board, and they've gone back to looking to play since. But now, 5 of those 7 minutes have expired. Dale, hard against the line. Canberra win the throw. Sienna Dale pops up the throw in. Heyman challenging and cleared away by McNamara. Her goal, still the difference between the teams. Heyman, long throw, hoping for Olasino and headed away by Tonkin, but they've managed to at least advance up the pitch. They're now down in attack. One decisive pass, one slip, and they might be in for a chance. Heyman, towards the line it goes. And that's it for throw-ins. They can't get any further forward. Now they've got to advance on the penalty box. Dale, the little step over was clever. Heyman twists into the penalty area, and it's behind for a corner. They've got themselves a set piece, and it will be a last-minute hurrah here for Canberra.
I've worked out really well, Canberra United, down the right-hand flank, chipping away at the distance, and now a really good chance. It's got to be a good delivery from Robers.
So we've seen one good corner already from Robers. Canberra almost out of chances. Robers to the pack of players. Good defensive header away initially, but Grove will take the loose ball. Switches over to Robers, and as it slips underneath her, is that Canberra's last chance slipping away. Well, it's a game where Adelaide have been statistically dominant. They'll feel as though they deserve to win, and yet Canberra hanging in there, trying to jag a share of the points right at the last. Can they get it forward for one more chance, or will Adelaide manage it from here? Dorber set into space. Cross to Wirtz, and out next to the post. A goal kick, but that will take us to the end of the 7 minutes.
Well, if there was going to be a time to take it to the corner, I think that might have been it for Chelsea Dorber. I don't mind the team still trying to play and trying to create in the final third.
Well, they are taking it to the corner because last touch off Rovers, so...
Well, that's worked out well in their favour then. They'll see out this stoppage time.
El Duranto hustling over to Zoyce, so there's someone to play it short too, down in the corner. 25 seconds beyond the original 7 minutes. It's just a full-on tussle for possession. Canberra have a throw, but do they have the seconds remaining here? Beck Mackey not looking at the watch just yet as it's headed away once more. Canberra have got to get it out into open field and get it long. Headed away again. The referee again not looking at the watch just yet. Canberra advancing in little 10-metre blocks, and that is surely the end of that. Adelaide United are on the winners list. And coming off their most successful season last campaign, they have, at the third time of asking, kick-started the new season. And in a game where familiar faces went up against their old side for the first time, it's Emily Condon who proves the match winner, a goal and an assist, and Matilda McNamara, a great degree of redemption for her. A couple of headers in the first 2 rounds that went begging. Not tonight. She was able to not in. And even though Canberra led in the opening 30 seconds of the action, Adelaide have come from behind, and they will feel it's no less than they deserve, being able to build to a first win of the season. The full-time score at Service FM Stadium, Adelaide United 2, Canberra United 1. Grace Gill, let's get into the highlights. And it was Adelaide who went behind after Canberra struck in the first 30 seconds.
It was a game that started and finished in a flurry. The legs of Michelle Heyman still have it in them well and truly. Chiara Di Demizio, again with this lovely finish, she could watch on repeat. She had to leave the field in the first half due to what looked like a hamstring injury. But that takes nothing away from Canberra United with this blistering start. They'll be